Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Down to Earth Astronomy, and hello, Dave. Another week has passed, and it's once again time to have a look at what's been going on this week. Here on the channel, I have been out and bought some new lamps that you might can see here. This should give some better lights when recording. These are just some cheap lamps from IKEA that I bought. Put some LED bulbs in them and cover them up with some cloth to try and smoothen the lights out a bit. And I'll try to get my phone out here. And there we go. So these are the lamps, you can see, cover them up. And before you begin, and there, that's you. And before you begin, no, these do not get hot. The lamps only get to 4 degrees Celsius. So that's not going to be a problem. I had them on for 3 hours doing my last live stream. Notes. Here we have all the recording going on. And by popular request, we have bunnies down here. Which is also why I have this fence around my computer, because bunnies like... But they like to chew in wires. But yeah. So that's the lamps, and hopefully that should mean that the background will not be so overexposed when I'm recording during the daytime, and generally I should get a better lighting setup. And just for comparison, this is how it looks without the lamps. And this is how the lamps look when they're on. So, what else has been going on? Well, I had a quite funny moment in Elite that I thought I would share with you. You see, I was running around in Quinns, and as always, I was done scanning the planets, and I was heading back to the station. And I like to just crash my Sidewinder into the planet's surface to get back to the station faster. But on this occasion, I crashed into the planet, but the ship didn't explode. I just ended up at 0% hull. So I thought, oh well, no shields and 0% hull. I mean, can this thing be landed? So I tried, and here's the outcome.
Here we are. Plenty of room. Don't scrape it.
Oh, are you an open? Oh, there you go. I can see you. Yeah, I can see you. Something just exploded in here.
Yeah, that's me. Okay. I'm in. I can see the landing pad.
I want to watch this.
Very slowly. Very slowly. No sudden movements here.
You guys are Quinns, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta make some money, so I'll head over there as well.
Okay, we're lined up.
Ooh. You're off center bit, aren't you? Or is it just does it just show it on my screen?
Oh! Yes!
So that was pretty fun. It was quite nerve-wracking trying to get that down. I mean, I was really feeling like if anybody just came anywhere near that thing, that it would blow up. So I'm quite pleased that I actually managed to land that. But let's head over and let's see what's happening in the games. So starting with the Elite, the whole THARGOID thing. It's quite down a bit now, but where it ended up is, I think they managed to Canon has managed to find 207 bases as far as I recall. And they mapped them all out, and they're kind of in a sphere around Merope or Merope. Like, people always discuss how to pronounce that, but it's in a sphere around that system. So it seems like there's something going on in there. And most noticeably, of the 207 bases, only one of them are in a Permalock system, namely HIP 22460. Which has been permalocked for some time. I think after the launch of 2.3, that it briefly was unlocked, and there were some people in there who discovered that the system has a mega ship called Overlook. So there's definitely something going on. It looks like Frontier just want to postpone the last announcement or the last events that's going to happen. And I think I heard somewhere that someone from Cheer had without say that they were surprised with the resources that the community could pull together when stuff like this was found. I don't think they expected us to find that much this quickly. So that's interesting. Also, with the increased interest from both the Federation and the Empire in the Pleiades sector, it definitely looks like we're gonna see a lot of more activity in that sector and some more community goals. We already have, actually, as of this recording, community goals down there. But of course, the stations involved in the community goals has been UA bombed to hell. So you cannot really hand in anything for the community goals, which kind of defies the purpose. But I guess some commanders would think that's a fun thing to do. But I'll definitely try and keep you guys posted. For now, it seems like all the bases or the Thargoid structures has been found, at least the ones that were connected in the Pleiades sector. So we'll have to wait and see when Frontier decides to unlock that system, so we can get in and see what's actually going on in there. Yeah. So let's very quickly just move on to Fractured Space. They have been testing out the whole queuing and the PvP queuing, and especially 3 versus 3 fights has had a lot of love this week. And it seems like what they've ended up with is it's an alternative game mode to Conquest. So Conquest is where you have these 2 lanes and the Gamma sector in the middle, which is normally 5 versus 5. But now they have also introduced this 3 versus 3, where you only have a single lane. You still have the 2 bases, of course, you need to protect or attack. And then you have a single lane and a Gamma sector. And then, of course, only 3 people on each team. But this game mode will only be available for players with an MMR of 1100 or higher, which struck me as odd. What I take from that is that the developers are not really that happy with having a 3 versus 3 game mode. I think they see it as a necessary evil, something they have to do in order to reduce queue times. But they do not want everybody to have access to this, or they want everybody to be able to play it. But apparently the queue times are longer the higher your MMR is, which I guess makes sense, because as you get up to the very high MMR, I mean 1100 is, or maybe I should say MMR is matchmaking rating, so that's how good you are. So if you have a very high MMR, there would of course be fewer players that you could play against, because there are fewer good players, of course, in the game. So to get a balanced team, it's very difficult. Public queue times when you have a high MMR are long. Therefore, I think they introduced this for only high MMR players. Though I would like to see this coming to everybody, to be honest. I mean, I don't see why that should be exclusive. I mean, they could maybe try to put it in as a second priority, that the matchmaker would try to first make a 5 versus 5 and would go through its cycle. But if it fails after, I don't know, a minute, still haven't been able to actually get a game, then maybe it will say, okay, maybe I should try and create a 3 versus 3 game instead and see if that can happen. I don't know. I guess that's some optimization. So maybe they just want to see how it works. Maybe they want some feedback from the experienced players in the game. I don't know. But at least it's there, and if you have a high MMR, you have a chance to play it. You can also make a custom game, of course. It is 3 versus 3 game mode. So you can get in, you can try it out for yourself, but it requires that you get some of your friends together to actually test this out. They've also revealed some of the upcoming things that's going to be coming to the game, and with their rate of development and the rate that they are implementing new features in the game, I think this is something we're going to be able to see pretty soon. And they only mentioned it briefly, some brief headlines, they had going to put in a new death screen. So I guess they're gonna give you more information on what happened when you got killed. I don't know. Maybe you're gonna see who did how much damage and what effects were on you. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what they there. They're also going to implement new stats and result screen. So I guess that's the screen after the battle has ended. That screen where you see both the teams, how much damage you did and how much time you died and how much credit you got and all that stuff. They're also going to change that, so I have to wait and see what that is. I think it works okay. as it is right now, but it's interesting to see that they're moving on to implementing other stuff that has nothing directly to do with queue times, which seems to me like they're beginning to get to a level where they are happy where the queue times is right now. And to be honest, they are okay. I mean, I've sometimes had queue times over a minute, but often you would get them within 15 to 20 seconds, which I think is absolutely acceptable. And then some very, very odd changes. Automated point defense. So every ship in the game in Fracture Space has this point defense that you basically use to shoot down incoming missiles, shoot down drones around you. But now this is automated. Either they're gonna make the point defense a lot less potent, because this is gonna be a huge nerf to missile ships and to drone ships, like the Paragon, for instance. Seems like a weird move by from the game developer's point of view. I mean, they're basically removing that aspect of the game that you could try and force the enemy to keep his point defense active for longer, and hereby draining his energy by keeping a constant supply of missiles and drones coming in at him. So either he would have to save his energy for other stuff, or he would have to try and mitigate some of the incoming damage by using his point defense. But by making this automated, they kind of remove that element of the game, which I think is a shame. This is one of the things I always loved about Fracture Space, is that there's so many things that you need to take into account all the time. It's really one of those games that's very easy to learn, very easy to get into, but it takes a lifetime to master. It's very difficult to be very good at the game, but it's very easy to actually learn and play the game. So again, that depends on how they're going to implement the automated point defense. But I guess we're going to see that hopefully in the near future. Okay, let's take some questions. Commander Simla77 asked in my last episode of Hello Dave. I don't know if he wanted me to answer this on this video, but I'm going to do it now anyway. He asked if I think it's worth investing time in power play in Elite Dangerous. Now, I personally think that the reward compared to the amount of time you spent in power play is a little underwhelming. So if you do it for the credits that you get out of it, I would not go into power play. What you can do, if you want to fly around, maybe do some PvP, maybe you do it for role-playing reasons, go ahead and join power play. Now, of course, the main reason, as I see it right now, that people are joining power play is to get access to those special modules, like the Packhound missile launchers and the prismatic shield generator, and those special items that you can get. So I guess so he's asked if it's worth getting into. From a credits point of view, no. I mean, yes, you can make decent amount of credits, but it's also a lot of work that you need to put into it. So I personally, it's a personal thing, I guess. I personally did not enjoy my time in power play. I think it was, I mean, I did it to get the shield generator, but that was about it. I did my 4 weeks and I bought a shit ton of them, so I now have them lying around on stations somewhere. So I have them in case I need to fit them. But I personally did not enjoy power play as much. I mean, it has potential to be something good, to give Elite some more player interactions, but which is something I think the game really needs, to be honest. But it just seems like there's not a lot of people in there, and that leaves me on actually to thinking about the whole Thargoid thing and how that's going to play out. Because if they're going to try to make this a power play thing, that maybe the Thargoids are going to be their own superpower, and now you suddenly have to join a power play faction to be able to participate in this whole Thargoid thing. That could be a way to get people into power play, but it just feels like it's keeping a feature alive in the game that people, not that many people are using. I know there are people who do power play and enjoy it, but I think the majority of people don't really care for power play, to be honest. So I hope that answered that question. If you have any questions, remember to put them in the comments down below, and I'll try to pick them up in next week's episode of Hello Dave. But yeah, remember that I'm always looking for new Patreons, so I could buy better equipment like new lamps, even though these were very cheap, and better software, better microphones. Right now I'm looking into getting a shock mount for my microphone, so you're not gonna get all that banging noise when I'm recording, and especially doing live streams. I have a tendency to bang my joystick against or hit my joystick against the frame that holds the microphone. So to try and reduce some noise, try to get you guys a better listening and viewing experience. Thanks a lot for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like, and until next time, I'll see you guys in space.